My dad slept with my fiancée a week before my wedding, so I made him regret it for the last day of his life. I found out 3 days before my wedding. My best man Derek accidentally sent me a text that was meant for his girlfriend. It said, "Dude, I can't believe his dad actually hooked up with Amanda. This is so messed up." I stared at that message for probably 5 minutes straight. Amanda was my fiancée. My dad was supposed to walk me down the aisle at our backyard wedding that Saturday. I called Derek immediately and he went silent when he answered. I could hear him breathing on the other end, but he wasn't saying anything. Finally, he just said, "I'm so sorry, man. I wasn't supposed to tell you. Amanda made me promise." Turns out my dad had been coming over to our apartment while I was at work. Amanda told Derek they'd gotten close while planning the wedding, said my dad understood her in ways I didn't. They'd slept together twice, once in our bed, once in his car after a cake tasting I couldn't make it to because of a work meeting. I hung up and threw my phone across the room. Then I drove to my dad's house at 11 at night. He answered the door in his bathrobe looking confused. When he saw my face, he knew. I asked him if it was true and he didn't even try to lie. He just said Amanda came onto him and he made a mistake. A mistake. Like he forgot to take out the trash or something. This man raised me, taught me to ride a bike, helped me pick out the engagement ring, and he slept with my fiancée a week before my wedding. I told him he was dead to me and left. Didn't cry, didn't yell, just left. The next morning I called Amanda. She tried to explain, saying she got cold feet and my dad was there for her, that it didn't mean anything. I told her the wedding was off and hung up. Then I started making calls. Canceled the venue, the catering, the DJ, everything. Lost thousands in deposits, but I didn't care. My mom called me sobbing, asking what happened. I told her to ask her husband. She knew nothing about it and I could hear my dad in the background trying to talk to her. She hung up on him mid-sentence. My dad kept trying to call me, but I blocked his number. Blocked Amanda too. For 2 years I didn't speak to him. Didn't go to Christmas, didn't return his emails, nothing. My mom divorced him and moved to Arizona with my sister. He lost everything. His wife, his son, his reputation in our small town. Everyone knew what he did because Derek's girlfriend posted about it on Facebook before I could stop her. Then last month I got a call from a hospital in Portland. My dad had stage 4 lung cancer. He'd been diagnosed 6 months ago and never told anyone. The doctor said he had maybe 2 weeks left and kept asking for me. Part of me wanted to ignore it and let him die alone, but I drove the 4 hours to that hospital anyway. When I walked into his room, he looked like a skeleton. Lost probably 60 pounds, skin gray, tubes everywhere. He started crying the second he saw me, kept saying he was sorry over and over. I sat down next to his bed and let him talk. He said sleeping with Amanda was the worst thing he ever did, that he destroyed our relationship for a moment of weakness he'd regret forever. He said he didn't expect forgiveness but wanted me to know how sorry he was. I listened to everything. Didn't interrupt, didn't react, just listened. When he finished, I looked at him and said, "You're right, you don't get forgiveness." Then I told him about my life the past 2 years, how I'd met someone new named Claire, how we'd been dating for 8 months and she was incredible, how I was actually happy now and building a life that didn't include him. I told him I came here to let him see what he lost, to let him know that I moved on without him and didn't need him anymore, that he'd die knowing he threw away his son for nothing. His face crumpled and he reached for my hand, but I stood up. I said, "You wanted to see me before you died. Now you have. Goodbye, Dad." I walked out of that hospital room and never looked back. He died 6 days later. My mom called to tell me, asked if I wanted to come to the funeral. I said no. Claire asked if I was okay and I told her I was, because I actually was. My dad spent his last days knowing exactly what he lost and that was enough for me.